For your capital punishment assignments, you will need to use a library database to find articles. I'm going to show you all the steps to take to get to those articles. Begin on the Virginia Western homepage. Hover over the Current Students tab, and then click Library. You are now on the library's homepage. You can access all of the library's resources from here. To get to the library databases, click on Find Articles in the left-hand menu, and then click Databases. As a Virginia Western student, you have access to over 200 databases. The ones that are used the most have been placed on this page, our Favorites list. For this class, you will need to use Opposing Viewpoints in Context. Scroll down the page and click that link. When you are off campus, you will have to log in to access the articles within the database. When prompted, enter your MyVWCC username and password. You will then see the Opposing Viewpoints homepage. This database covers current topics that are being discussed in the news. You may hear it referred to as a Hot Topics or Controversial Issues database. It is a perfect choice for your capital punishment assignment because there are constant debates about the legality and ethics of the death penalty. To begin your search, type capital punishment into the search bar at the top. This particular database recognizes capital punishment as a key phrase rather than death penalty. Be aware that it's always a good idea to have synonyms and alternate words or phrases in mind when you are searching because the different databases often use different terminology. What you're seeing now is the topic page for all of the database content related to capital punishment. At the top of the page, you can see a brief overview of the topic along with the types of results available. For this assignment, you will need to use reliable academic articles. Therefore, you should choose articles from one of the following sections: Featured Viewpoints, Viewpoints, Academic Journals, or Primary Sources. While the other articles may be reliable and interesting, they require further research and verification. Not everything printed in newspapers and magazines can be considered academic. Notice the numbers beside the categories. For example, 296 beside Viewpoints. The topic page is only showing you the first 3 titles in each category, but there are more than 3 available as indicated by the 296. To see all of the articles available in a category, click on the category heading. Now you are able to see the title of each article and the date it was published. Notice that many titles are similar. For example, many people with mental illness should not be exempt from the death penalty. And then, people with mental illness should be exempt from the death penalty. You are able to quickly tell which ones will present pros and which will present cons. Let's open one of the articles. Because this is a viewpoint article or essay, there is a paragraph about the author, and there are also questions to consider as you read. You will also notice that there are suggestions for further reading on the topic after the essay. At the bottom of the page, you'll see a citation. The default is an MLA citation, but for this class you need to provide an APA citation. I'll show you how to get to that in just a second. But first, you will need to make note of the Gale document number to include in your assignment. You only need the last portion. I'll show you where to put that in your assignment in just a bit. For now, I'm going to make note of it in a separate document. To get to the APA citation, we'll scroll back to the top of the page. To the right, there is a box with various tools. Click Citation Tools to open that window. Once it opens, click the APA 6th Edition tab. Oftentimes, these citation tools are not 100% accurate. If you transfer to a 4-year program or continue for graduate degrees, you will want to learn all the ins and outs of APA style. For the purposes of this class, we're just going to use what we're given. Copy the first part of the citation through retrieved from. Do not copy the long URL. When you include it in your assignment, you will paste in just this portion that you've copied. And then after retrieved from, you will type opposing viewpoints in context, in italics, have a comma, and then type document number, colon, and we're going to paste in the document number that you found earlier. This is not accurate according to APA style, but it gives Professor Johnson all of the information he needs to locate your article later. And you'll want to do further formatting when you're actually turning in your assignment just to make everything look the same. But there are a couple more things I want to mention, so let's go back to the database page. There are other tools available. You should be able to email the article to yourself by clicking on email, but I will tell you that it doesn't always work. So if you want to have a copy, I recommend that you choose the download option. Then choose PDF and click download. A window will open and ask you where you want to save it, or it'll go to the bottom like mine just did. And then you're able to save it to your personal computer or USB device. There's also a print button, and I recommend that you use that for printing rather than using print available in your browser command bar. Sometimes that just doesn't work so well. If you need help with any portion of this process, please contact the library. You can contact the embedded librarian in your Blackboard course or find the contact information on the Ask a Librarian page.